In 2018, the universe was blessed by The Killer Under the Bed, a thrilling Lifetime original movie about a family of 3 headstrong women who experience a series of bewildering paranormal attacks that emotionally reunites them in a way that the accidental death of their husband and father only wishes it could, despite the seemingly direct role that each of them played in the events leading up to his gruesome car accident. But hey, that's girl code. Paranormal activities before taking responsibilities. Am I right, ladies? So who is the iconic antagonist in The Killer Under the Bed, causing the violence that befalls this family and all of the bad feminists who are to them for no reason at work?
Except for the way that men pit men against one another because of misogyny.
But still, that would be the voodoo baby doll. A voodoo doll who is neither shaped like a baby nor a killer and only spends a brief period of time underneath a bed. But that's not the only mystery in this low-budget thrill ride. You will also ask yourself, what does it mean to be a woman in today's society? How long am I supposed to spend curling my hair every day? And why are these women so incapable of stringing together natural-sounding sentences and phrases?
I wish Mr. McCabe keeps liking me.
So grab your crucifix for this low-budget, bad dialogue, women not supporting other women, bash fest of a film in today's Demon Baby Doll installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content on the web, and we break it apart like the bully at school who we watch get pushed down the stairs. So we can look at each individual clip and decide, is it a baby doll that's possessed, or is it a demon who is like living inside of a baby doll, and then is it another demon that's possessing the sister? Whatever. So before we get into this plot hole factory, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. So turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know. I've also got merch and a Patreon. The film begins with a cold open showing the latest victim of what we will come to know as the terrifying terrorizer of all women ever. I don't know this character's name. She does come up later. It doesn't seem to matter.
Leave me alone!
Wow, I sort of feel like these David Dobrik vlogs are getting shorter and shorter. Also, he usually edits out the way most young women react when any man currently in the vlog squad approaches them at a party. What I do appreciate though is how this scene perfectly illustrates how my dog feels when I turn on the Roomba. We get a sinister POV shot of this young woman being super murdered, and then we go to the title card. And then we go from that to meeting our 3 main characters who are a bickering set of broad, but don't worry, you'll learn to love them by the time the credits roll, hopefully. We have Kylie, a young high schooler, her athletic sister named Chrissy, and then their single mother named Sarah, played by Christy Swanson. I'm not gonna give you any more character background than that because the movie doesn't offer any, other than they like to fight. Women be fighting. That's what we know from this.
I'm just trying to negotiate some peace.
Dad wouldn't have done it this way.
Yeah, well, Dad wouldn't have worn that jacket everywhere either. Oh, do you think he would let it rest?
Girls, what Dad would want is for us to get along.
I feel like Dad would also want all 3 of you to make sure you turn off those curling irons before you leave the house, because he can see from heaven how each of you had those cranked up to full steam ahead by the crack of dawn. Can't you all just be grateful that the neighbor's gay kid happens to be in hair school and that you're all blackmailing him for daily in-home stylings? Chrissy, sweetie, your diction was perfect when invalidating your sister's expression of grief. Kylie, I have to agree with your sister. The dead dad jacket is totally bumming out everyone in the family who is still alive. It was already annoying back when your dad wore it, always trying to show off that he could fit into a girl's size 12. But now whenever you put it on with that main character wig, it's giving the vibe of a manic pixie weird girl from some John Green novel. It's gonna feel dated after Paper Towns, I promise. That night, while feeling misunderstood and exploring some shed out in the yard, Kylie discovers the dun-dun-dun voodoo baby doll, which I just hate the name. Like, why did they have to call it a baby doll? And also, why does it look like this? Oh, okay. I thought it would be like some ancient talisman with a centuries-old curse. But then I see that the tag inside was clearly done on an inkjet printer, so I guess not. The previous homeowners must have found this voodoo baby doll while browsing the unstable artist section of Etsy. By the way, did they really mean to call it a baby doll, or was that just amateur writing? Like, what species of baby was this supposed to be? Kylie does some very basic research and finds a very public website about this well-known doll who is apparently able to bless or curse anybody that its owner wants by pinning a personal object to it. And there are some other rules, like this curse becomes stronger the longer the item is attached and the more personal the item is. I wish that those rules factored into my understanding of the story a little more, but we'll just go with it. Me microphone. This is night before Nick, and I just had to come on camera because I can't sleep, and I just want to say hi to the sponsor of today's video, Helix Sleep. I miss my Helix Sleep mattress so much. It's in the other room, but my sisters are visiting, and I let them sleep on my premium mattress. You just don't know what you've got till it's gone. Like, slept on a couch. Slept on a couch. It's gonna be okay though. I've had my Helix Sleep mattress for like 8 months now, and now my sister Melanie thinks she's gonna get a Helix too because it's just that good. And until we're reunited, I will just have to try and get some sleep and dream about how Helix provides premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to your sleep needs, and it's all shipped to you completely free within the US. Free shipping is the best price for shipping that anyone on this planet or Earth can offer you. I don't think I've ever fallen asleep so fast in my life, and I truly wake up feeling more refreshed, and the process of picking it out is like a dream itself. They have a sleep quiz so that you can match your specific body type and sleep preferences to the right Helix Sleep mattress for you. I was matched with the Helix Midnight Luxe, and then I added on the Glaciotex cooling cover, another awesome way that you can further personalize the sleep surface, which just keeps me sweat-free and comfortable all night. I don't know how anyone picks the right mattress without this quiz, because like, maybe I should talk quieter so they don't hear me. Helix has great options that will help you and a sleep partner compromise on what you need. I'm a die-hard side sleeper. I like a mattress with pretty firm support, but especially on the edges, because I sleep towards the side of the bed. And now that I've trained my dog Toast to sleep up there with me, she cozies up, and I still have plenty of room to spread out. And I can't believe I ever shopped for old mattresses at a store. Not only is Helix easy to buy online, they ship the whole mattress to you in this box, and it's wrapped up, and I gave birth to that mattress, and they weren't even there to take it out of the bag. It's okay. I'm happy to share my love of Helix with my family and my friends. James Mansfield just got a Helix Sleep mattress. I saw it in the box. I was like, oh, you're in for a treat, sis. Helix offers you a 100-night sleep trial, plus a 10-year warranty, and there are financing options and flexible payment plans available. Luckily, I will be able to get back on my Helix Sleep mattress tomorrow. Clearly, I love my Helix, and I think you will too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. You can click the link below or go to helixsleep.com/DiRamio to get 20% off your Helix mattress and 2 free pillows. And yes, my sisters are using the pillows right now too. Back to you, daytime Nick. I'm back to the couch. Thanks again, Helix Sleep, for sponsoring. Mwah, I love you. And it's a good thing Kylie found this Defender using dark arts, because it's pretty much as soon as her first day of school starts that an insidious bully named Tina starts threatening to make her life difficult if she does not give her what she wants.
To be nice, I'll do a post with the 2 of us. Like a little endorsement from me to you.
Thanks.
I'll just need $100.
That was me negotiating a fictional brand deal with my Helix mattress after eating too much moldy bread. Yes, there actually is a safe amount of moldy bread to eat. It will give you a nice, relaxing body high, known as temporary paralysis. Let's head over to see how Mom's doing with her first day at the new job, which is presumably the reason they moved. She works as a dentist in the world's grossest looking dentist office from the exterior, and the world's most non-dentist office once you get inside. She was brought there by a man who is also the head dentist at this dentist firm, and he's looking for someone to take his place when he retires. Naturally, there's some competition in the office.
Dr. Yeager.
You can call me Sarah.
I'll just call you Dr. Yeager. I prefer to keep things professional.
That's why I can't even say the name Sarah. It's a jeans and t-shirt name for slut doctors and non-professional nurses. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a child waiting to be seen who has to have all of their teeth removed because they're those weird little ones that I always hate. Later on, Dr. Ryder reveals why she's not just rude, she's also ruthless.
I didn't move here to take over his practice.
You're probably expecting him to hand it over to you on a silver platter. That's some dress. Bold choice on your first day.
Ignore her sarcasm, Dr. Slut Doctor. It was a bold choice. Who else would think to convert a stretchy fabric book cover into the front panel of a confusing sleeveless dress that doesn't look good on camera? That is the definition of bold in some cultures. I'm sure everyone in the wardrobe department gay gasped when they got a full view of Christy Swanson in this dress, but since this scene shows it only in medium shots and close-ups, this uneven segmented pattern reads as busy and bewildering. Like if my eyes are playing Chutes and Ladders on your décolletage, then perhaps it's a little too distracting. When Kylie gets into one of her first classes of the day, I think it's English, she meets a new teacher, Mr. McCabe, who she can't help but have a girl crush on.
Did you need some assistance?
Jeez. Crush much? Oh my gosh, she's like strawberry red.
That's enough, Tina.
Yeah, so what if she's strawberry red, Tina? You're inbred Irishman alabaster. Do you really want me to start pulling out the Pantone paint chips so I can let you know what it's like to taste the rainbow, honey? You really want to know the shade names for your color story, Mrs. Prison Cornbread Blonde? The movie moves really fast. Like, there's not a lot of time for character development whatsoever. Chrissy is at her field hockey thing, and Kylie is watching from the bleachers when, again, Tina comes up with her posse of one and starts demanding $100 from this poor girl. I would be like, sweetheart, where am I gonna get $100? She's like, your mom's a dentist. I know you have it. Well, your mom is a racist governor. She should have even more $100 bills just coming out of her. She even says, well, fine, if you don't want to give me the money, then I'll just take that vintage jacket that looks so cool on you. And she's like, but this is my dead dad's. And she's like, and it will continue to be his while I shove it into the back of my closet and forget about it. Kylie tries to commiserate with her sister that night about the bullying, and her sister's like, why don't you just give her the jacket? It's probably for the best anyway. Every time we look at it, I think of him, and it's your fault he's dead. And she's like, no, it's your fault he's dead. It's like, wow, we've got some really unresolved conflict that we have to talk out. Good thing we're getting to have that uncomfortable conversation screamed through the door.
It was tournament here, tournament there. You need to stop. Dad died rushing to one. You can just act like it isn't your fault that he's dead. How dare you say that?
Girls, stop. It's both of your faults that your father is dead. But I know he would just be thankful that neither of you were in the car with him because you're like so boring to drive with. Besides, I'm sure he's in a better place now, just basking in the eternal gratitude that he didn't live long enough to have to sit through even one more of Chrissy's awful field hockey tournaments. The girls keep on playing the blame game. At least I think that's what they're doing. This isn't the best sound design.
You hadn't insisted that he come by the house, and if you had first, he never would have been on that road.
What was that? Muffy McMuffled screams? I could barely make out her dialogue, but it was still expositional enough for me to know that these girls are blaming each other for their father's car accident. Meanwhile, mom is over there suppressing the results of a talk screen that would probably clear up a lot of the mystery surrounding what caused that rollover. She's like, girls, please don't argue. We'll never know which one of you was more at fault. All we know is that there were no other outside factors in case the life insurance company calls the house phone. Feeling frustrated and enraged, Kylie uses the pin on the voodoo doll to pin something of, I don't know, her sister's to the leg, and she's like, my sister's leg up. And the doll does. The next day, Chrissy's leg is hurting, and it is like getting to the point where she's gonna have to go to the doctor, but then when Kylie removes the pin, it magically heals. So she's like, wow, this is really, really a voodoo baby doll voodoo. Even though it kind of looks like Christopher Lloyd in Back to the Future. Like, it's the most hideous doll. That's not a developmentally complete baby, whether it's human or not. In what feels like a reboot of Groundhog Day, Kylie is once again accosted by the bully Tina in both the bathroom and then on the bleachers. It's like, do we have any other locations we could maybe explore here? Why is this school always empty? Oh, and at the same time, the mother realizes that Dr. Ryder, her rival dentist, is also conducting uninsured dental procedures for reasons that are unclear. For example, she's giving teeth implants to like a baby who does beauty pageants and using the more expensive cavity filling. This is the kind of stuff that people do when they deserve to get murdered.
My friends and I will bring down on you the reign of terror.
What friends, Tina? I only ever see one person standing behind you. And we already explained to you that her type 4 hair texture does not give you bonus points so that you qualify as having had 2 people of color at your birthday party. And it's problematic for you to think that that's even the way it works. She's like, hey, nobody talks to my girl's destiny and bonus token hair until I give them permission to re-enter the foreground of the scene. Come on, girls. I booked you both as extras on the CW. They're shooting a prom scene for Pretty Little Liars, and they want you to stand in the deep background of the master wide shot. Luckily, Tina stupidly blotted her lipstick on a paper towel, which Kylie then so cavalierly pins to the doll and is like, I wish, I wish, I wish. This is where we get that careful what you wish for kind of trope, because she says, I wish everyone would see Tina for what she is, an ugly duckling. And it doesn't take long for that to start coming true.
They found themselves plagued by demons, or what they thought were demons.
Does anyone else sometimes get the feeling that even Mr. McCabe doesn't fully understand the concepts that he's teaching us? Like, he's acting super shifty while explaining this, but it could just be because of how tight the pants he wears in this movie tend to fit around his ass. In 2018, Lifetime was even more well-known than they are today for being wholesome and modest, but they could still put some hunky men on screen without nudity, thanks to the simple philosophy that sometimes there's nothing sexier than a well-filled out pair of khakis. And I know what you're going to be saying in the comments, but let me be clear. I'm referring to pants that are well-fitted through the thigh and the waist, as well as the penis region.
Tina.
That's a real duck face.
When your English teacher stops dead in his track to publicly point out how gross your lip looks, that's how you know it's herpes. Sorry for the voice. That's the tagline I gave to my herpes. I don't know how the whole class decides that Tina looks like a duck during what could easily be a very dangerous allergic reaction, but I also don't know who told Tina she should do a half stage turn towards the classroom. You looked in the mirror and you know how bad that looks. Just run straight out the door. This is where Kylie's wishes never seem to match how people actually talk, which would be a more interesting factor because like she's not wording her wishes properly and it causes trouble. But it was weird for her to even say, I want the world to see that Tina is an ugly duckling. It's just a stretch. She could have been like, I wish Tina's outside looked as rotten as she is inside. And then she gets this like flesh-eating virus where she starts rotting from the outside in and her organs are failing. Die, 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 die. Also, if it's gonna be like some sort of unspoken infection of the lips, I don't know, it sounds like they're kind of alluding it to being some sort of cold sore, but I don't see why it couldn't have been like her body is rejecting her lip injections, because this was 2018. Those procedures were already being popularized because Kylie Jenner admitted to being a liar about receiving them. Later, Mr. McCabe assures Kylie that Tina will be fine. She just had to take some Benadryl. But he's really nice to her. He's like, if anyone ever bothers you, just come talk to me. And it's like, you need to back off, sir. With words that flirtatious and chinos that tight-fitting, you're just asking for a lawsuit up in this public school. And sure enough, Kylie just can't get enough.
I wish Mr. McCabe keeps liking me.
See, that was a weird way of stating your wish too. I wish Mr. McCabe keeps his realtor's license because he needs to stop teaching English. Ever since he started, over 50% of this school fails their SATs more than once. It doesn't even make grammatical sense. She could have been like, I wish Mr. McCabe would keep liking me more and more until he realizes he would do anything for me. It's like, yeah, those are kind of expressions that can be taken multiple ways. And that's gonna lead to some big issues for Miss manipulating with the magic powers. Later that day, Mr. McCabe comes right up to her and he's like, so what are you doing today? Want to have my phone number? Can I text you a picture of my penis? Like, it's too much. And that's another way this movie feels like it moves too quickly. It's like she makes a wish, the next scene something happens. We don't get any character development in between. We never know what's going on with her sister. But that day, Kylie is getting her teeth cleaned by her mother at work when she witnesses a lot of tension going on and the ruthless sensibilities of Dr. Ryder. So as they're being reprimanded by the lead dentist, Kylie uses another voodoo wish in a weirdly worded way by saying, I wish Dr. Ryder would see that my mom is the best dentist in the world. And it's like, okay, but wouldn't you want the lead dentist to see that? He's the one making the promotional decisions here. But okay, regardless, she gets like a brain tumor headache right away and is like, you know what? You're right. You're so right. Thank you for your feedback. I'm gonna go. So Kylie's like, wow, this is all going perfectly. There are no negative consequences. Until that night, she's getting texts and flirts over text from her English teacher, which is kind of weird to watch. It's a little disturbing that they decided to incorporate this into a movie, but let's just go with it. Hopefully nothing too creepy will happen. For some stupid reason, Kylie tries to explain to her mean older sister how she has a magical voodoo doll now, and her sister is like, this is all sorts of and you need therapy type of stuff.
Text from Mr. McCabe.
Your teacher? Gross. So what, you cursed him to be a creep?
I wish for him to like me.
Kylie, don't say your wish out loud or it won't come true. And your sister will point out how pathetic and cringy your whole life is. Is this your first day with siblings? Of course, Chrissy is like, this is too much, you need help. And she grabs the doll and throws it in the trash can. And she's like, if you take that out of there, I'm gonna tell mom. But the next day, Chrissy's leg starts mysteriously hurting again. And Kylie looks in the room and sees that creepy, withered husk of a doll sitting in bed, reclining like Mr. Rogers. So clearly the doll can move around a little on its own and is ready to reactivate a curse at a moment's notice if it threatens Chrissy's sister, Kylie. The names in this, it's awful. Chrissy Swanson plays Sarah, and she has 2 daughters named Kylie and Chrissy is short for Christina, and then the bully's name is Tina. And then the bully's obligatory best friend of color is weirdly named Barbie, but they also call her Babs, and I'm just like, I wanna go home from here. This town is full of shit. Kylie manages to save her sister's leg by rescinding the wish and saying like, I'm not mad at her anymore, please stop. That day, Mr. McCabe acts creepy towards Kylie again, and Christy's like, that's actually problematic. And she's like, don't worry about it, you're just mad because your history teacher's not putting his long, dirty fingernails in your vent. Once again, Kylie doesn't Google, but Gigo searches voodoo baby doll, and suddenly there's no information about this on any website ever on the planet. That's right, the 3 words voodoo baby doll, despite being very easily linked in most contexts, is no longer a searchable search term. That's some bad optimization on the account of their webmaster. Like, they need to find someone new to handle that for them. Anyway, Kylie runs into the bully Tina, and Tina, her face looks normal again, but that doesn't mean Kylie can't give her some vague threats. I'm talking really vague, like almost don't make sense.
And I'll happily sit back and wait to see what might puff up next.
Okay, why did the 9th grader have all of her dialogue written by a 6th grader? Seems like somebody on the production really doesn't understand what wordplay is. To see what might puff up? Why would you alter the wording of that common expression so that it's no longer really logical? Nobody ever says that something has puffed up unexpectedly, so they're attempting to say something with double meaning, but they added the secondary meaning in a way that actually ruins the original meaning. Like, what are you all doing in this library all of this time? Because it doesn't seem like either of you read for fun. She could have been like, I'm not leaving this school. I'll be in the front row the next time something pops up. I can't wait to see what your face looks like then. Not just like, I can't wait to see the look on your face when you're surprised. It's like, I can't wait to see how your face gets even more f***ed up. Basically letting Tina know, like, I'm responsible for this. But Tina is like, oh, this doll that I see all of a sudden? Kylie didn't even bring that to school. The doll slithered its way into her satchel on its own. And I guess Tina is just like the kind of bully who takes anything she wants from this one girl that she's targeting. They really didn't have the budget, clearly, to have all of these side characters or featured extras that could help convey that she's terrorizing the whole school. It also seems a little less likely that a bully in this situation would be physically aggressive and would more likely just be like spreading rumors like she also threatens to do. But no, she takes the doll, shoves Kylie to the ground, and then skips class. Meanwhile, back at the office, it seems like Kylie's wish is negatively affecting the mental health of Dr. Ryder, who comes back into work late and disheveled and irritable. When confronted by some of the other dentists, she blows up.
You're all in on this.
In on what?
You're pushing me out.
I don't remember the last time you took a vacation, so why don't you take the...
bomb this place.
I will never let her steal this from me.
Come on, Dr. Ryder, what do you expect to happen here now? Congratulations to our new head dentist, the woman who threatened to put a pipe bomb in my mailbox. Like, I know it was probably a tough week since a high schooler magically made you think that her mom was the best dentist on earth, but still, she's not responsible for you going from Mrs. First Names Are Unprofessional to Mrs. Explicit Threats of Violence in a room full of witnesses. We can't control the voodoo baby doll curses that we encounter in this life, but we can control our reactions to them. Obviously, Kylie's a little nervous that this evil doll is in the possession of Tina, who does not know the dark powers she is handling. So when Tina's not in class, she follows that best friend Barbie out of the room to try and figure out if she's okay. Mr. McCabe, on the other hand, is all up on her. It's like, you need to stop stalking this little girl. It's not a good look. There are video cameras in the public hallways.
I saw the way you were looking at me in class.
Excuse me?
We're still on for lunch, right?
From the way you looked at me in class, it was obvious how hungry you are for the way that these pants hug my juicy ass. Doesn't that just make your mouth water, you hungry high school sophomore? Sir, this is why they didn't let you finish chiropractic school. It's gonna be the same reason you lose your teaching license. Now, Tina is back in her pink convertible, ready for Babs to join her so they can go to the mall, but her lips start puffing up again, and she doesn't see the voodoo baby doll now sitting upright in the backseat of her car like a full-on toddler that she abandoned for a wet t-shirt contest. And before she even knows what happened, she spots the baby doll in the rearview mirror, and that baby grabs her metal nail filer and starts tapping on the surface of her skin. It's very much like in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, when the most kind of scary attack we see is when birds are like, we're scratching you a lot. So it goes with Voodoo Baby Doll, who is scratching at her skin, causing small amounts of blood to get on the steering wheel. Luckily, Babs, or Barbie, discovers her just in time to save her, and the EMTs are wheeling her away after, thankfully, she learned her lesson.
It's karma. It's karma. It's karma.
When your high school tormentor is rolled away on a stretcher, covered in flesh wounds and muttering that it was all because of karma, that's how you know your counter-bullying has worked perfectly. That's how you know it's herpes. For some reason, Kylie doesn't seem to feel good about her weird doll killing that girl, almost. And for some other unknown reason, the entire school is now gossiping that Tina tried to off herself. You know, by using her emery board to scratch at her arms and legs in a pattern that's consistent with self-defense. Okay. It seems like the same 6th graders who write the dialogue for this movie make up most of this town's police force. And the other kids are not much better because they're like, oh, she tried to off herself, but they saved her. And you hear someone being like, too bad. It's like, you all need to go to therapy. This is rude. But now Kylie is officially scared about the weight of the implications of all of her wishes running haywire, because she's being followed across some sort of, flat, fieldy, vegetative area by that tight-pantsed teacher who just wants to be with her. See, this is another area where it would make even more sense if her wish had been like, I wish Mr. McCabe was even more obsessed with me than I am with him. But no, it's just like, he just loves her. He wants to sleep with a child.
Just a boy with the girl telling her, I love you.
No! You're a teacher chasing a student in the woods!
Oh, so now all of a sudden you understand semantics. Why was being brutally stalked and harassed by your English teacher the only thing that motivated you enough to finally review those flashcards with examples of synonyms? Very fear-motivated learner. Good to know. And we'll put that in your file. Tina is like, you know what? This has been really fun up until just now for some reason. So doll, baby doll, so beautiful, we gotta go.
I rescind the wish.
I just want to be with you.
Why is that not working?
It seems to be working just fine for Mr. McCabe, you know what I mean? I don't mean anything. This scene is deeply uncomfortable to watch, so there's not much that I can say that will make that better. Sir, unhand that underage girl that you've cornered in a field. Luckily, Kylie knows some self-defense, and she kicks him in the crotch and runs away, and it's time to bury this doll baby, because it is making your teacher horny for high schoolers.
I'm sorry. I really am. Thank you for what you've done.
Hobbling my sister, causing my teacher to sexually harass me, stabbing some girl, triggering the lady my mom works with to become radicalized by her own paranoid delusions. That was all super fun and really sweet at first, but now it's all gone too far, which I realized when my English teacher showed me his penis just now. Like, for me, that's the point where things got too real. I know how you feel, sweetheart. School is tough. Because she was missing for a little bit of time after school, Kylie's mom and sister are just grateful to have her back, and they kind of start making amends with one another. Chrissy, however, is more than ready to write all of this off as just a bizarre week of incredible coincidences.
Look, Tina is screwed up. Mr. McCabe creeps on his students. Mom's coworker had a psychotic break.
Just another ordinary week here at Euphoria High School. Like, sweetheart, you just read an insane list of things that happened to people you know over the last 2 days. I don't think your sister would need to dramatize things even more unless she was actually afraid that she was responsible for killing people using her VBD. That's a voodoo baby doll. Not very big, although who knows, she might have one of those too. The sequel will tell us the truth. We cut away to that field where the VBD has bashed its way out from under the soil and is ready to commit even more atrocities. She goes back to her favorite place, the library, to find research on this doll, and Mr. McCabe is like, hey girl, why didn't you let me you in that field yesterday? And she's like, oh my god, I'm really not into this. So she's trying to get help from her sister, but her sister just gets pissed that she cursed her legs, and I'm like, I think we're missing the point here. There's black magic, and you're just mad at your sister for being mad at you for being kind of mean. We gotta focus on the priorities. Meanwhile, at the dentist's office, things are escalating with Dr. Ryder, who has somehow kidnapped and bound the assistant medical dental hygienist and is ready to kill Kylie's mom because she's jealous of her amazing, best dentistry skills in the world. Struggling with what to do next, Kylie remembers what Tina had said about some girl who was locked away in a psych ward for going crazy, and all of her family and friends were getting hurt and killed too, so they're like, you're gonna be the next Mandy Jenkins. And that's when she goes to visit this Mandy girl, who is a little eccentric.
I searched the devil out and paid 30 pieces of silver for one of his demons.
Wait, I must have missed something. How did she end up at one of Gabby Hanna's poetry readings? Kylie, how'd you get there?
Whoa.
Also, at first, 30 pieces of silver seems like a really good deal for one of the devil's demons. But notice how Mandy didn't mention how big each piece of silver was. That's how they get you. Also, we don't know which one of the devil's demons it was, because some of those were made for really specific reasons. For example, he has these really little ones whose sole job is to live in the toilet and wipe his ass. Talk about a purchase that's more trouble than it's worth, because you have to feed them 6 times a day. It's hard to find volunteers. Anyway, I guess Mandy had done some sort of curse by pinning certain parts of the body of that demon baby doll in order to make it go to sleep, and then somehow Kylie woke it up with her antics. So Kylie goes home and she's once again attacked by her teacher, but she manages to knock him unconscious. This is all after Kylie's mom manages to use a stun gun to knock out Dr. Ryder and escape her clutches before she's able to dental drill her eyeball. Just a quick recap, we recently found out that the voodoo baby doll is actually an uncontrollable evil demon, and now we are about to find out through some aggressive line deliveries that Kylie is discovering the voice of her inner demon as well.
It's in the house. It's gonna kill us. Come on! We're gonna have to find another way out. It's alive. It's actually alive!
Sweetheart, what has gotten into you? Using an outdoor voice, the human sacrifices, low-pitched growl, the candlelit room? Just be honest with me. Are you getting into death metal ever since your teacher tried to attack you just now?
It's actually alive!
We gotta go! What is she doing? She's using her guttural voice in this moment. But it's okay, because we're at the climax. And just when Kylie thinks she's solved this whole problem by throwing the voodoo baby doll into the fire, things do not instantly improve. In fact, this doll is really hard to put down, even though we know that it can be done because Mandy did it in the middle of what seemed like a very hopeless attack. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Andrew Tate leaving his tanning booth. Chrissy gets separated from the mom and her daughter, sister, and it looks really scary for them. But luckily, through the power of girl family, they are able to reunite in the living room, but not before Miss Dental Mom gives a really badass one-liner to the teacher who is attacking her and her daughter again and again and again, but she just noticed because things were crazy at work.
You think you can kill me? Stronger men have tried!
Leave it to the stronger women then, ass.
Again, we need to kind of really look at this dialogue because he's saying stronger men than that little girl have tried, and then the mom is like, forget about my grown man, little girl doll, sister, child, asshole. And we're like, yeah, you tell them. Anyway, we kicked the attempted sex criminal in the face, so that's the end of that subplot, I guess. That's how you know it's herpes. And just when we think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, it turns out, uh-oh, something evil has gotten into Chrissy's snatch now.
This is on you.
That's the doll talking.
No, it's not.
Yeah, see, Kylie, you'll know that it was the doll talking when it sounds like Daffy Duck. That's what the doll now sounds like. And I'm just like, okay, did we have to reach a point in the movie where the doll was making sounds? Because it feels a little humorous. Anyway, this sort of standoff mirrors the fights that Kylie was having with her sister earlier, only now it's a verbal argument with a demon who has possessed the body of her sister. See, it's symbolism, which represents a very bad example of symbolism. Kylie, I guess, threw the pins down on the ground at some point that are apparently really important pins, like no other pins will work on this voodoo doll, and she has to pick them all up off the ground. You have to collect all of the pins and put them back into the doll for the doll to fall asleep. And that's what it is. The doll needs all of its pins to be controlled, and she took all of the pins out right away. But thankfully, they're able to subdue demon sister possession and hold down this squirming little creature as it and it gives Kylie a chance to put a pin in this evil curse.
I wish for you to leave me and my family alone forever!
As you can see, the Build-A-Bear store in Times Square makes for a slightly more intense experience, but you know, that could still be fun for the older kids who aren't afraid to look in the devil's face and see themselves. Something about this powerful demon feels a little less threatening when we have to hear it gurgling and see Christy Swanson hold it down to be killed like it's the rabid squirrel who bit her favorite gardener. And so it goes. They reverse the curse. Sex criminal teacher wakes up and he's like, oh hey, why am I in my teenage student's house with a raging boner? And they're like, don't worry about it. See you in class, Dr. What's his name. And the family happily goes off into the sunset, never to see their father again. But after the house is empty, by the light of that fire, we see Mandy Jenkins home from the hospital and ready to cause some trouble because the draw of the voodoo DB double baby doll is just too strong to resist.
Hello, old friend.
That was me when my big toenail fell off and I kept it in a drawer near my bed so that I could visit it each night and fall asleep looking at it. Actually, no, I have not done that unless other people have as well, in which case we can be relating to each other, but if not, I'm not gonna ask you to admit to touching your severed dead toenail. That's how you know it's herpes. What I meant to say was that's like when you're cleaning your room and you rediscover your favorite G.I. Joe from childhood and become instantly overcome by the urge to put it up your but you cannot because you don't agree with your country's military spending and because all your Crisco is still cooling off since you just used it to pan fry some tater tots. Actually, I'm not sure which of those two stories is gonna be more alarming. I'll just check with my therapist and later on I'll edit out the comparison that I should be the most ashamed of. God, I really hope I don't forget to do that and just leave both weird sentences in back to back. I'm sure I won't. And I also won't forget this thrilling time we had with the voodoo baby doll that was under my bed for 1 minute, but mostly it was just up in my teacher's head, making him want to touch my little baby breasts. Yeah, but that's how it is on Lifetime Movie Network, baby. Let me know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Also give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see me break down even more Lifetime supernatural thrillers like this, but most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I've got a very big baby doll to put in your face. Gosh, I hate the way that I'm talking today. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for escaping your psych hold with me today to find your favorite doll. I will see you next time. Mwah.